Today is Saturday, March the 11th, 2023. It is 6:15 p.m. local Pacific time. Oh yeah. We are 1 week out. Welcome to episode 487 of Mike in the Night. And I'm so all glad you made it tonight, and I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night wherever you're watching this transmission. Whether you're watching us from your condo in the sky to your cabin or camper in the woods, or just couch surfing or relaxing on your lazy boy. I should have memorized this properly by now, but it is episode 487 of Mike in the Night. People of the night, welcome to Mike in the Night. It's 3 a.m. and something is moving you. The voice of the Commonwealth, hashtag Mike in the Night, exclusively live streaming on Odyssey. If you ain't on Odyssey, you ain't nowhere. Let's get informed, involved, and all that stuff. Yeah, this is the pre-show, guys. I should have mentioned that this is the pre-show of Mike in the Night because there's no intro music, there's nothing really happening, and it's kind of bland here because, we're very limited to what we're allowed to say on this stupid platform. So anyways, the channel is back on lockdown, folks. The YouTube channel is officially back down on lockdown. So if you guys don't mind coming and checking on me once in a while, just to see, hey, what's Mike Martins talking about today? What's Mike Martins doing? Just come and check on me once in a while, just to see where I'm at or where we're at. And everyone's jumping in tonight on Mike in the Night. We are a family here. I know, I could tell you almost something about everybody that's commenting on this, or I've contacted or talked to or emailed or, so there it is. Yeah, everyone's pouring their drinks tonight. Oh, yeah, it's 3 a.m. and something is moving you. Let's go to a quick channel plug, and then we're off to the races, folks. Let's get to a quick channel plug here, and we are off to the races. So there is the Mike in the Night there ready to go for tonight, guys. So this is ready to go on Odyssey where we're going to switch over. I'm going to give you the link right here. We're going to switch over in about, 40 minutes. There it is right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin this damn thing to the top so people can see a pinned message. And there it is. So the Odyssey show is ready to go. Just commenting on that one, letting people know, woo! So someone's talking about the France riot. We're back to the Yellow Vest movement in France. So, live on YouTube, pre-show. Okay. Let people know we are live on YouTube for the pre-show. All right, so artbydano.com, artbydano.net, not your typical art. Don't forget to check out Dano, three for $30. Original paintings available too. So commission Dano to do your next work of art. You can find him at the Huntington Beach Pier in California. Fakeologist.com, head over to FakeOTube. And I was watching this morning, and he's live right now, and he's got all kinds of stuff going on here. So this was what YouTube used to be, 15 years ago. Remember when you went on YouTube, you saw all kinds of stuff? Well, this is what it is right here on FakeOTube. And KiwiRadio.nz is MikeInTheNight.com. There's your Mike in the Nights all over the place here. Don't forget to download, you can go and download MP3 versions of Mike in the Night. And keep the lights on for Mike in the Night. Guys, do not send me super chats. I repeat, do not send me super chats. I don't get any of it. Go to DonorBox. And Legalese.com. Legalese. Don't forget to get over to Legalese. Very important. I used it today because I had tax issues, and it's free. I'm just putting this out there. It's free. Legalese, bookmark that now. Don't bother with it. Just bookmark it. You get some legal jargon in the mail or some garbage, put it through Legalese. It'll tell you what it means without having to go through all the BS. And guys, Wednesday Night Rumble is a hit. We had a Wednesday Night Rumble show, guys. Will be again this Wednesday. Every Wednesday night, Mike in the Night, Wednesday Night Rumble. So if you guys want to join us here's the channel right here on Rumble where we speak freely. It's only a 2-hour show. I know 2 hours is long though. But join us on Wednesday Night Rumble if you want. Subscribe if you'd like. And blackpowderbill.com. So stuff you need, if you need stuff for a gun, something more on the vintage line. Black Powder Bill, again, is another gentleman that comes on the show. and talks about what's going down in the gun market and what's happening with ammo and shortages and stuff. So Mike in the Night's got a pretty good reach all over the place. Okay, so let's go to, like, there's something so big in the works. Either it's a real big hot war that's going to wipe out a percentage of us, either they're going to pull the trigger on a mass pandemic, or it's going to be something. And it is something, guys. That was back in, when the hell was this? September 28, 2019. We knew it. We knew that they knew it. And we knew it here on Mike in the Night. We knew what was going down and how it was going to go down. And people are saying, Mike, we got to talk more solutions. We got to get into the problems. And then we can start unfolding or figuring out ways to... We got to get to the problem of what's happening. And sometimes it goes pretty deep. And a lot of lives are at risk when you start getting into that. But once we get everything or figure things out and we really connect the dots, I think we barely scratch the surface of what we think we know. It's good to think we know, but I don't think we know, because I just don't think so. I think we know 7% of what's really going on. I'm pretty sure if we actually knew the total, if we had the total package, yeah, it's pretty scary once you start going down that rabbit hole. Mike, are you banned in Europe? I hope I'm not banned in Europe. I'm a Portuguese. I think I could get into Portugal. I'm a Portuguese citizen, so I don't see how that would be. I don't think so. I don't think I'm banned in Europe. I'm banned in New Zealand, though. I got lots of cease and desist from New Zealand. All right, comments are moving nicely, guys. I'm so glad you guys made it here tonight on Mike in the Night. All right, so let's go into some headlines. Let's go into see what... I kind of separated the headlines for you guys, folks. So when we switch over to Odyssey, we go into the real stuff that we can't talk about on YouTube because somebody will end up pissing their pants. So, okay, here we go. There's a photo there of me and my wife. I posted there in the community section in YouTube. It was my birthday yesterday. I turned 45 years old. I put this meme up. It was kind of funny. I almost died. No, you didn't. You weren't there. Neither were you. 18 miles or 25 miles away from the Capitol building. And I made this meme up. The look you make when you overhear someone stating they're alive today because they took the juice. Oh, yeah. Let's get a clap. Yeah. That's a good one. I saw Cartman. I had to do that. And there's a Lisa Haven video here that I shared for you guys. Panic mode. We are winning. And that goes back to the Mike of the Night from 5 weeks ago. We did a Mike of the Night 5 weeks ago where it was win. Or no, not 5, maybe 8 weeks ago. Win. It's falling apart. The narrative is falling apart. The pendulum swung back. Blah, 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 blah. It's done. It's over. It's falling apart. So we got Anarchy reporting from Colony 1114. For Mike in the Night. 1114 is Australia. And 1115 is New Zealand. 3 is, if I remember, the UK. 2 is Canada. And 1 is... No. 2 is the United States and 1 is Canada. We made that penal colony thing up back in 2017 when we were trying to connect the Commonwealth together under penal colonies, right? So CJ has a question for everyone. If the bank lost your debt, if the bank lost your money, do they also lose your debt? No, your debt is it's collateral. It's your debt is your signature on your debt. Is your binding legal. They won't lose that. They'll lose your money before they allow you to lose your debt. So, yeah, most banks sell your debt to bigger banks. That's all they do. Papa Pist is right, 100%. On the money. All right, take me back. Take me back to what? Toronto, 1981, 22%. Los Angeles, 1983, 26%. New York, 1930, 14%. Miami, in the year 2000, 23%. Baltimore, 1871, 16%. So just a kind of little fun there on the channel. And I thank God I grew up in a time when an app was just an unfinished word and a phone hung on the wall. We spent time with each other, and it was great. And, okay, this is an update on what's happening. So that Mexico thing was a drug deal all along and a cover story that never made any sense. So about the 4 Americans kidnapped in Mexico have lengthy rap sheets. So it was a drug deal gone bad. So, and this sounds about right. If your partner lies and gaslights all the time, always has excuses to steal your money, constantly invades your privacy, is overly controlling, you might be in a toxic relationship with Justin Trudeau. Yeah. Yep. All right. So what else we got here? So Hamburg Church, we got an update with 7 dead in city lockdown. We're going to get into that there. World Economic Forum says U.S. must implement one-child policy for white families. Another coincidence, several hurt as train derails in West Virginia, spewing fuel and igniting a blaze. So there it is right there. There's Hill Dog! There's Hill Dog! Let me get Joe Pesci out early. I don't know if I want to...
I'm a lawyer.
I'll get Joe Pesci out on Mike in the Night on Odyssey, guys. I'm not going to freak out here on YouTube. Anyways, Tucker Carlson reacts to the second biggest bank failure in American history. So this is who's reporting this? WND reporting this. There it is right there. Fox News host Tucker Carlson said Friday that the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank was a similar bank run from 1929 and the collapse of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX. And we're starting to get a better, more precise sense of what it means when Joe Biden brags about the strongest and most equitable economy recovery in history. Carlson, co-founder of the Daily Caller News Foundation, said what it means it could be time to buy gold and stockpile food. So that's something we've been saying on the channel for the last 10 friggin' years. I found a food prepping video on the channel. I was going through the channel, looking at some of the videos. I found a food prepping video from 2017 and how to prepare stuff, and interesting. And some of the biggest banks in this country, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, collectively lost more than $50 million in the market value in one day. That's quite a hit. On the other hand, those banks still exist, Carlson added. You can't say that for Silicon Valley Bank. As of this morning, Silicon Valley Bank, or SVB, has gone under completely. That makes the second biggest bank failure in history of this country. So that's why the Federal Reserve or the Fed regulation was invented to prevent banks from going bankrupt. The whole purpose of them installing the Fed was to make sure that banks didn't go bankrupt, because before, a lot of banks weren't regulated. Well, they're still not regulated. It's all a bunch of garbage is what it is. I'm not defending any banks, but I'm just saying it's all, yeah, anyways. Federal regulators shut down Silicon Valley Bank Friday after its stock price collapsed and customers began a bank run, following the financial institution's disclosure of the $1.8 billion loss on asset sales due to high interest rates, CNBC reported. So there it is right there. This is coming to a city near you, right? Mark my words. And we talked about bank runoffs 2 days before they froze the bank accounts of the truckers up in Canada. I made a big video, bank runs, governments to freeze bank accounts 2 days before they froze them. And then a big hero came and made a whole video taking word for word what I said and got a couple of million views. Good for you. Good for you, hero.
Hiya, pal.
All right, let's move on. Elon Musk claims he is open to the idea of buying Silicon Valley Bank. I think that's a bad idea because a lot of those banks, especially these Mickey Mouse banks, they don't hold any hard assets. They lease office space. They have leased office space. Maybe a building or two that they may own. I don't think the bank owns any of their buildings. They're all rented. I'm not saying this bank specific. Most banks just rent their buildings. They don't own anything. A lot of them don't have a hard asset sheet. Oil companies do. Oil companies have a hard asset sheet. Steel companies do. You know, they got trucks, they got offices, they got equipment. Banks don't have shit. Banks don't have anything. So, Create Jersey is saying, I remember that it's when I started watching Mike. I'm so glad everybody made it. So glad everybody made it. Comments are on fire. Wow, we got over 100 people watching.
Hiya, pal.
Okay, so Elon Musk, just start a bank. It's a waste of time buying an existing bank. Yeah, the infrastructure's there. Okay, Mike, but the infrastructure's there. The underwriting is there. All the, the software to take mortgages and loans and this and that. Everything's in place, Mike. All he has to do is buy the bank and kind of restart it. It's a waste of money. Now with ChatGPT, you could write up everything you need within days and have a full-blown bank with all the laws and everything put in place, everything to regulate it, everything, all the forms filled out, all ChatGPT or whatever, could get it all done within days, and you have a full-blown running, and then you go rent a space for a bank. We're getting flickers here, guys, in the power. Luckily, the show's backed up on solar. So Elon Musk claims he is open to the idea. Bad idea. Biden asks, listen to this. Oh, it's so hard not to swear. We're doing this show. So this piece of crap again, look what he's asking for. Biden asks for a massive $886 billion military budget for 2024 to confront China. You piece of crap. You're bleeding the American families to death. You are destroying the fabric of what it means to be an American. And his son and his laptop, the Biden White House is asking Congress for a whopping $886.4 billion military budget for fiscal year of 2024, with $842 billion of it going to the Pentagon. And this does not include funding for the Ukrainian war, which is likely to run into the hundreds of billions. So this is terrible news if you're living in the Northwestern Hemisphere. So if you're living in the Northwestern Hemisphere, Canada, United States, and Mexico, this is really bad news. This is affecting all of us here. So you can read the full article here at News Punch, and it links to the actual articles themselves where the sources are coming from, so you don't have to wonder. Out of Canada here, this other piece of crap. Remember this guy? Canadians deserve the truth about China's interference in our elections. And I'm not going to go into the channel time machine. We told you 11 months before that the Liberals will call a snap election and win. 11 months before they called the snap election. People were threatening me and writing me horrible letters and emails and stuff saying, Mike, you're a tardo. You're the biggest tardo in the world. Who's going to call an election during the height of a pandemic? They did, and they won. And now there's 402,000 uncounted ballots in Southern Ontario because they used the mail-in ballot system for this whole thing. So this was all fixed. So Canadians deserve the truth about China's interference in our elections. So there it is right there. This is coming from the Toronto Sun. So there's the paywall here. So just kind of putting out the headline there. There's a payroll. Goodbye. So people wondering why don't, Mike, you're in Canada, you should be covering more Canadian news. It's all paywalls. You can't even read anything. And plus, I'm going to show you guys like one of the main news cycles and show you the front and show you what they're talking about. How helmets could save lives while riding a bike. Old elderly lady takes a walk in the park. I'm not making this up. Watch the last Morning Coffee with Mike. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'm in the city, California, says standing mannequin. All right, let's jump here. Sorry, guys. If you're listening to this and you're not watching it, and you're listening to it on replay, and you get this awkward pause, like where did Mike go? I'm just reading your comments. So I'm just reading your comments here. All right, let's go. CBC, Canadians Broadcasting Crap, paid staff $16 million in bonuses in 2022. So for people across the Commonwealth watching this, English-speaking world, you would know that Canadian media needs to be funded by taxpayers. So my taxes that I pay quite a bit of taxes, believe it or not, as a private citizen. It's crazy. So I pay a lot of taxes as a private citizen, and what the good news is? Well, there's no good news. The bad news is they fund these media outlets in turn to lie to me. I could understand if these media outlets were getting their own private funding, not from the governments, not from the taxpayers, but from people that want to hear this garbage from the mainstream legacy, dinosaur, whatever media you want to call it. Then it wouldn't bother me so much. They're lying, but I'm paying for this shit. I'm paying for this. So Canada State Broadcaster paid its staff $16 million in bonuses during a year of economic struggle for many Canadians, saying New Report. The Canadian Taxpayers Federation reported on Thursday that the CBC paid annual bonuses of more than 1,100 staff last year, adding up to an average of roughly $14,000 per bonus. 14 large. 14. So if you want to watch the full, go ahead over to True North. All right, Newsmax is reporting Oregon may mandate climate change lessons. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. You can't. You can't make this up. Climate change lessons. So what are they going to tell you in the lesson? Okay, guys, it's going to rain tomorrow. The climate is changing. Guys, tomorrow I might pass some gas. It might warm up a bit. What do they mean by climate change lessons? What a waste of taxpayers' money, faculty money. These kids aren't learning how to read. They're not learning how to do proper basic mathematics. They're not learning what they need to learn when they go to school in academics and in reading and arithmetic and all the stuff you need to learn. This is a bunch of garbage. This is the biggest piece of this is the biggest waste of money since the whole Ukraine thing. Well, there's more wastes of money. We could find a lot of wastes of money. Oregon climate change. What a bunch of garbage. It's making me sick to my stomach. I'm going to close that. White House denies approving controversial Alaska oil project. Why? Why? Because we covered this again 2 years ago. The Biden administration, I'm not reading the article actually, I'm telling you this. The Biden administration canceled a buckload of drilling permits and all kinds of permits, coal mining, all kinds of permits for energy. The Biden administration canceled roughly 31,000 different permits since he started his administration, and he canceled the Keystone XL pipeline here in North America. And that was during the Trump administration. And the town I live in, they hate Donald Trump with a passion. And it's kind of funny. They canceled the pipeline, and I'm like, hey, that looks like Donald Trump, was creating jobs for Canadians. And people look at me like, yeah, but Joe Biden needs to go green. We need to build a train station from Vancouver to Hawaii and Hawaii back to California. We need train stations going to Hawaii now. It's beyond. Not even going to go there. Yeah, someone in the comments says they just farted carbon tax. We got somebody in the comments saying, it's so bad here. We have the worst school system in the U.S. here in Oregon. There it is. So here he is. So there he is. They're canceling more and more pipeline / The administration of piece of crap has dismissed multiple media reports claiming that the United States President-elect, has decided to greenlight a massive Alaskan oil development that climate activist Al Gore, another piece of garbage, has declared as recklessly irresponsible. The same piece of shit that told you that Florida was going to be underwater by 2007. Remember that? Remember that, Tardo? Yeah. So no final decision has been made. They're not going to go through with it. There you go. Biden wants government to teach children starting at age 3.
It's Christmas time. There's always a lot of burglaries around the holidays. So we're just checking the neighborhood to see if everyone's taking the proper precautions. That's all.
There you go. So they want to start poisoning your children at 3 years old. The report notes that Biden proposed $6.9 trillion budget that would have the hand of the government rock the cradle by creating federally regulated universal pre-K program for children as young as 3. You gotta be kidding me.
Snakes? I don't know no snakes.
So, there it is right there. Let's move along. These aren't the droids we're looking for. Fed chair warns U.S. could see unexpectedly high interest rate hike soon. And this is very important because they're going to have to keep raising and hiking interest rates. But the problem is, this is more of a problem. See, Americans that that's paid overpriced for their property, shame on you. Because you can find lots of good, decent property for within your wages, what you make wage-wise. You could do well if you're in rural areas. You're out of those disgusting cities. And you're doing okay. You could be doing okay. You could have, But for the Americans that are in the blue states, like New York, Washington State, Oregon, California, and we talked about, the money laundering and the foreign investors buying out huge swaths of California. Washington State, Seattle area was bought out when Vancouver, British Columbia put the foreign buyers tax. Because an average home was $4.5 million in Vancouver, $2.8 million, $3.7 million. It was crazy. I was showing a video to people earlier about a house being $4.5 million, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2,100 square foot home. It was a piece of garbage too, and people were like, holy crap, you guys are getting killed in Canada. Now, once the Fed start hiking rates in the United States, Canada follows in Australia. Australia is now on their 10th rate hike, and people now are starting to default in Australia, big time. And this is something we've been very vocal about. Mike, do you have an opinion on pole shift? No, well, the pole shift is just it's a common thing. It happens. Your north starts to go out of whack. Your axis start to change. It's part of not the rotation, but the elliptic movement of this way, the wobble. That's a common thing, and it happens in huge gaps, though. We're talking a couple of 100 to 1,000 years. You might see a gap here and there, right? Someone says, I uploaded a video of Antarctica. It's a civilization that was killed by nuclear blasts. I wouldn't doubt it at all. All kinds of stuff happening we don't know. All right, let's keep going. So feds are going to keep raising rates. Okay, we got Canadian senator suggests. Now, I know Bill C-11, Bill C-12, Bill 35, Bill. In Canada, every week there's a new bill to disenfranchise Canadian middle class. So, Canadian senator suggests Bill C-18 could be expanded to cover platforms where creators talk about the news. So, this is coming from Reclaim the Net. Don't forget to check them out. Discussion around Bill C-18. What the hell is Bill C-18 now? It's a new bill every week. So Canada's online censorship bill lurches forward. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government controversial internet censorship bill C-11 might soon become law. It passed the second reading in Senate and now awaits a third final reading. The bill called an act to amend the Broadcasting Act to make related and consequential amendments to other acts passed in 49 and 19 vote. So the bill has been heavily criticized because it would give the Canadian Radio Television Telecommunications Commission, CRTC, the authority to regulate users-generated content on social media. So this is intertwining into now Bill C-18, which is currently in the second reading. The bill, which promises to take into account principles of freedom of expression and journalistic independence, passed in the House of Commons last December and is now a step away from becoming law. And this seems to mostly come down from making platforms like Facebook and Google pay publishers for hosting links to news. So it's so confusing what's happening here in Canada, but it's not good. It's not good. And we're in a lot of trouble here in Canada. So I ask for your prayers down there. That's what I ask for. Mike, what do you want, man? You want me to mail you something? Just pray for me, man. Just friggin' pray for me, man. There's nothing you could do anymore. Somebody wanted to send me $5,000. Was it last month? Hey, man, I know if you haven't, I'm doing okay, Mike. I want to donate $5,000, and I'm like, no, you don't have to donate nothing. Just pray for me. Just say a prayer for me, man. We're there now. Pray for me. So we got the comments rolling really nicely. We're gonna be jumping out here in a few minutes. Let's see if we can get the Junkyard Dog on the show and see if he picks up his phone. He's not picking up his phone. Junkyard Dog was not. I told him to keep his phone beside him, and he forgot. No worries, guys. All right, I'll just fill up the gap with a bit of news, and we're going to be switching over in a couple of minutes over. And, oh, it's Junkyard Dog. Hello, Junkyard Dog?
Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
Good. I'm trying to get the volume up on this.
Okay. All right. So what do you got for us, bud? You send me a ton of things through the week. Go ahead and report what you're finding out, bud.
Oh, a few things, actually. There's been some interesting stuff, isn't there? Where to start? There was a lady on the YouTube there. She was saying that the elites are... They're very scared right now. They've tried everything from climate change to the Ukraine war to all this crap stuff. They're scared to death, and we're winning.
That's exactly what we said 5 weeks ago on Mike of the Night. Win. Remember the episode?
Yeah, and it's almost like she took the words out of your mouth and ran with it.
That's usually what happens here. Nobody watches we watch the 100 people that are watching this channel watch it, and it resonates, it gets out there, and then other people pick it up. You know, I've never been plugged by any other, well, I think maybe once I've been plugged by, usually if I get plugged by another channel, they just make fun of me. But you know, I don't have anyone that actually plugs me and says, you know, there's a guy in Canada that was saying that. You know that? Never. Out of 5,000 videos I have.
Yeah, no, I thought that was really interesting, you know. She went on and on, said, oh, how we're winning. You know, but I don't... What are we really winning though, Mike? I don't understand. Like, are my wages going up? Is the house prices coming down? Does people around me losing their vehicles, not losing their vehicles? Like, what are we really winning? When are we gonna see it?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's winning in a fact where the truth conquers all. So once the truth comes out, you know, the biggest casualty in a war, or the biggest weapon in a war, is the truth, right? So once that comes out, there's what more do they have to hold on to? Yeah.
And there's another one I seen too. It said that in August, around August, September, in the U.S., there's going to be a draft to go fight the Russians.
To go fight for what? No one's going to fight for the Russians. No one's going to fight against the Russians. Nobody is going to take arms and send their kids and grandkids and uncles and aunts and people to go fight a proxy war. I'm sorry.
I know. But like you said, there's a lot of crap that comes on YouTube. Like, we don't know, like, do you really know what to believe, what not to believe? They're bounced, like that lady says, the elites are bouncing everything around. They're bouncing everything off us. They've tried to turn us upside down, empty our pockets, clean out our bank accounts. Like, now what?
Well, we're getting to the point where civil unrest, people are just going to be. But then here's the problem with civil unrest. The media is going to go in there and say climate change activists or anti-Trump activists, or they're going to find ways to spin the protests. Now, you want to hear something funny?
Tell me.
Back in 2019, there was people protesting in New Zealand. No confidence in governments. We don't trust you. We don't want you. No confidence in governments. 2019. Okay?
Yeah.
And we had someone on the ground in New Zealand that was there at the protest and said, no, they're spinning it. The media was spinning it as an anti-Trump protest in New Zealand.
Wow.
Yeah. We don't want Donald Trump. We hate Donald Trump. So they actually spun it as an anti-Trump protest in New Zealand, in Auckland, in 2019.
Yeah.
Instead of it's no confidence in governments, which was the case.
Do you know that in like like I'm a truck driver, right? So I travel around the U.S. You want to hear something? Like in bathroom stalls, there's still writings on walls in bathroom stalls. Trump 2020, 2024. They want Trump.
Oh no, I know they do. I'm not doubting
You know
that.
what I mean?
Oh no, 100 quadrillion %.
When you're driving down the highways, the interstates and the back roads, and you see Trump signs and Trump on people's barns, still,
Buddy,
like
in
that
2020,
was a huge impact.
well, in 2020, when they were, was it 2020, the election, or 2019? 2020. Yeah, if you jump on the I-75 in downtown Detroit, and you drove all the way, let's say, to Cincinnati, or maybe a little bit further to Atlanta on 75,
Yeah.
you saw Trump's. You wouldn't go more than 2 miles without seeing a Trump sign.
Buddy, I forget what year it was. I think it was maybe only 2 years ago. I was working for a different company than I am now. I was going south on 75, going through like I went on the bridge, crossed into Kentucky from Ohio, Cincinnati, and somewhere into Kentucky, there was a convoy of pickup trucks waving flags in the back of their pickup trucks. Trump, 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 Trump.
Right.
And, like I'm telling you, he still has a lot of supporters. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But
I'm not anti-Trump, dude. I'm not anti-Trump. I'm not anti-anything. I just like to sit back and watch the show. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, me too. Me too.
I like to sit back and I love to, like, I want to put a cutout of Donald Trump in my store, like a cardboard cutout, because in my town everyone is all pissy when they see him or hear him, and like, this guy's a racist and rah, rah, rah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I just like to get him triggered. That's all. I love to get people triggered, especially when they come in with pink hair and pink and orange hair and green and stripes and
triggered.
I love getting trigger.
Yeah, it's too bad we couldn't put a think tank together. Like if we had a think tank,
well, this is what we got here.
Think their think tank.
Well, this is what we got here, buddy.
Yeah, that's what we need. You got a lot of good, intellectual, strong-minded people here. Like we, something like how a cartel started. Like, well, not a cartel, like a group or a club or something started. Just a few people. And they were like-minded, and they put it together, and they grew and grew and grew and got bigger and bigger, went worldwide, went this way, that way, put on a patch or joined a club or waved a flag, government started from somewhere.
Well, that's how the founding fathers basically were fed up with the UK and the Crown and the British rule and said, screw you.
Yeah,
and they basically made a Bill of Rights.
The greenback.
Now, the greenback was during Abraham Lincoln's time. That was an independent currency made by Americans for Americans, cutting out the British crown.
We need that. We need that here in Canada.
But, of course we do. Of course we do. But
we got to be careful. We got to be careful what we say on here, but. You know, we need something, some band of people somewhere somehow have to get together and think tank us out of this.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, if you were like, we're a family here, right? So
Oh yeah,
you would be more of you got promoted from associate, right, to soldier, and you're not a soldier anymore in this family. So I would put you as you would be more of a captain, because you've been on the show a few times, you've contributed, you sent me stuff, you talked to me, we know each other, you know what I'm saying? So you'd be more of a
yeah,
captain, right? So
yeah,
so we're all part of
yeah,
this.
yeah. We need to think tank us out of this, man. We somehow like maybe we don't have money. Maybe we don't have
Oh, but
we
money's
have to.
beyond that. Money's beyond now. Money's beyond. If you have money,
So
where are you going to invest it? What can you do with it anymore? Everything's too, either housing is overpriced or stocks are failing. What do you do? Buy gold and silver and food,
oh,
just like Tucker
oh,
Carlson said.
that's right. Do you remember the movie The Postman with Kevin Costner?
You mentioned that in the comments on the YouTube video I made.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Because you'd sparked that with me when you said something about the New World and that. I thought there was a movie. I wonder if he's referring to that, and that's what I mentioned. The Postman.
Hmm.
I sort of forget that movie, but
I'm
wasn't
gonna
there
watch
a
it again. I
group?
have it on my Plex.
I got to watch it too because sometimes Hollywood puts little things in our system to pre-warn us of what's coming.
All right, Junkyard. I gotta let you go. It's Junkyard
Ten
Dog on
four.
Mike of the Night. I gotta
Yeah,
let you go
buddy.
because I gotta switch over to Odyssey now.
Okay, buddy.
I'm gonna leave a link. Are you gonna jump onto the Odyssey and watch us?
Yeah, jump on Odyssey and watch you. Yeah,
Okay, buddy. God bless you. Keep me updated.
too. 10
Cheers.
4. Be safe.
Peace out. All right, that is Junkyard Dog. All right, guys, here is... Let me paste this in. We're going to go over here now. There it is right there. The comments are blasting here. So there it is right there. We got 39 people waiting, and I am going to switch over here in the next minute. Thank you guys for being part of the Mike of the Night pre-show, and I'll see you on the other side. Mike Martin's here.